And I think that's it for Omega Gearus. But we have Ultraman Omega now, right? I mean...
Yes. Ultraman Omega, episodes 7 through 12. That's a lot of episodes to review at once. But the thing with Omega is a lot of the episodes, especially at the beginning of the series, we found out that, it was hit by budget cuts. Next year's a big anniversary, so a lot of the budget that would have gone to Omega...
It's going to next year.
It's going to next year because Blazar made money, Arc didn't sell as well, and typically it's the 2 years back is the budget. So we would have gotten Blazar budget, but we got like half a Blazar budget, and then next series is going to get an Arc and half a Blazar budget.
Yeah.
If not more. But
this has been a great series. I mean, budget-wise...
Honestly, I don't know if they need the budget, because I like the small team.
Yes.
I don't want a million characters.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you got 3 people to think about. Ayu, Kosei, and Sorato. So episode 7. The highlight of that episode is we get our second Mateo Kaiju, Trigaron. It's kind of like a mech kaiju mix.
Yeah, he's got like fur, but it's like a mech, and its thing is it's very fast.
Yes.
It's not very strong.
Yes, it's not strong. It's built for speed.
It is the Pokemon you put out first to take the hits.
Yeah. But yeah, he debuted against Gomora, classic Ultraman Kaiju. And that was a really cool debut. We did not get to see the suit in action just yet. Cool debut. Then that was followed by this Mons-Ahgar episode. It's another kaiju that was previously seen in Dyna Decker and Ginga. This one episode I thought...
Was it in Arc at all? Like, it looks so familiar.
No, it wasn't in Arc.
I thought it might have...
You're thinking of Damaga. That was also in Blazar and Arc. That's episode 10 there, I think. Is what
yeah.
But episode 8, was Mons-Ahgar. And they did this cool, like...
I love
this was episode. A really good episode. I like this episode. They had, like, this, like, Ghost Hunters team, kind of.
So it was like a ghost town.
In, like, the mountains. That, like, it's like a town that you can't find, but like if you get lost in the fog and you end up there, you're lost and you can't get out.
Yeah, but people like were getting out, but like there's this boy in there, and he would like wave for people like not to come, but then people would come in because they saw a little boy look like he was waiting for help. But so that activity happens. It gets reported. The ghost hunters come in, and my favorite thing is that Ayu is just like, these guys are a scam. They are a joke. Their science is pseudo. They don't know what they're doing. But the ghost town was real. Their technology did work, and they have an awesome chant. Yippee-ki-yay.
That was like one of my favorite.
And the buffoon that is Sorato just fell for it.
Yeah, he's like, they loved it. I thought the funniest thing was that their like machine that opens the gate to get into this town, like, was powered by like an exercise bike.
Yes, it was hilarious. And then, so we get in there. Omega's there. Kosei's there. The little boy's there. Seems to know Omega.
Yeah.
Which was a big lore drop that we haven't gotten follow-up on
there was quite a lot of lore drop for an episode that had like such a goofy like feel to it. Like, there's also this story about the monster that's trapped in this town, that this like big red giant from the sky put him there. And like they show the picture and it looks like almost like a humanoid, not like an ultra, but like a literal like almost like, like you would see like Japanese folklore, like kind of like with like the teeth and everything,
like a demon.
Yeah, almost like a demon. Yeah, and then
but like obviously if you're someone who doesn't know or anything, like you might interpret Omega as a giant red demon.
And then Kosei is like, "Is that you?" He's like, "I don't remember doing that." He's like, "I don't think I'm that old," but maybe it was him. And I'm like, maybe this boy's like that boy was another giant. Like, is that boy like another ultra? Like that?
Maybe.
Yeah. So.
But like they don't really.
Yeah,
we haven't got. I'm sure it's gonna get brought up again.
Yeah. The fact that boy knew who he was. like I don't know if they're gonna go back to that area or that boy, or if that was just to say, yeah, that red giant was Omega.
Yeah, it could.
It could have just been as simple as
be.
that. There was a recap episode that I actually.
Well, he
admit
he did the Yippee-ki-yay during the fight, which is great.
Yeah.
And I think we get the. Do we get the Trigaron armor in this one?
Yes.
In episode 8?
I believe so. Yeah.
Basically, he just gets a giant claw and he's fast.
Yeah. So there was a recap episode. I don't know if they touched on that for this though. Honestly, I did not watch the recap episode. Admittedly.
No. So I watched the recap episode. They didn't. So the recap episode, the way it works, I actually really liked it. Above the warehouse, because it's like an office space, is a guy who runs eBay for his friends to sell collectibles, and that's basically his business. He just sells collectibles. So So it starts off with him listening to the radio hosts that are in all of the episodes, and they kind of recap, like they're doing like a special on the kaiju and like Ultraman and stuff. So you kind of get the recap from like the radio person's perspective and from someone who doesn't quite know all about that because he's so involved with his eBay business. Then it transitions to him talking about his weird neighbors downstairs, Kosei and Sorato, that are cousins. And so you kind of get like the human side of the story recapped and the kaiju side of the story recapped separate. I thought it was a very creative way to do a recap episode.
I gotta watch it. I was gonna wait. I think I'm gonna rewatch it with the English dub when that comes out.
Yeah, I think that might be worth it. But I thought it was a very, very interesting way of doing the recap episode. But
yeah. So then after episode 8, we get episode 9. It's a Guibila episode. They stumble upon a Guibila, and they're gonna use it to make a Kaiju Park. They're gonna use it as an attraction. They're gonna bring people there, and
if you've seen Jurassic Park, you know what happens.
yeah. And then Ayu's kind of like annoyed with it, but then like she kind of like ends up getting like recruited by like this guy, and she's like, I'm not really working for him. She's like, I'm just gonna make sure that they do the right thing.
This is the crazy part. He offers to 10x her salary.
Yeah.
To come work for her. She does not accept that, but then she does start working for him, but for free.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like she still has her defense force job.
Yeah.
But
basically,
yeah,
it was a pretty straightforward episode. The Sorato like remembers, like, finally has a memory of the kaiju. Like towards the end, he's like, "Oh yeah," it pretends to hibernate because it tries to lure as many people to it as it can, and then once there's enough things to eat, it finally gets up and eats everything. They're like, oh no, they're going to do a whole event to open the park and all these people are going to be there. Then it's going to wake up and eat them all.
Yeah, and I feel like this episode kind of started the trend of Kosei using Trigaron first.
Yeah.
And then it not doing anything, and then when we bring out Rekness.
Yeah. And then, that's when we went to, yeah, I think you're right. I think Trigaron's definitely the weaker. I know they've revealed a third one, which looks really cool.
Which I had called out because I'm like, why is there an extra gem in the opening? That doesn't make any sense. I was surprised they were able to keep it secret for that long. But going into episode 10, this is the one that kind of got me. It's pretty funny. So Ayu brings her like friend who's been like investigating kaiju over because she has a lot of questions about the kaiju, but is curious as to like why Kosei and Sorato know so much. So she decides, like, because Sorato is just a blabbermouth, why don't I just follow you guys around?
Yeah.
All the time. And Kosei's like, you can't tell her anything. Like, now she's following us. So, they ditch her. He becomes Omega. Kosei uses Trigaron. Like, it's basically a lot of, like, her missing them. And, like, her asking questions. And then, finally, Sorato's like, I think I'm going to tell her. And Kosei's like, Ayu doesn't even know. Ayu doesn't even know yet. Like, what are you going to tell her? Like, we don't even know her.
Yeah.
And he's like, but she's going to find out eventually.
Yeah.
So, like, he's going to tell her, and as that happens, there is a kaiju attack. So, like, they do their slip away thing. And during this, she's filming, and she doesn't realize she's about to get like squashed by the kaiju, and Omega comes in and saves her, and she starts like taking pictures. She took like pictures of it because she's like videotaping it. And I hadn't even realized this, but I just happened to be watching with my wife. You know, it's the scene where Sorato's going to tell her that he's Omega, because after that fight, and she's like, my wife pointed out to me, she goes, she has Omega on her home screen. And then sure enough, she's talking about Omega, and she's just gushing about it. So then Sorato's like talking to her, and he sees the picture, and he's like, is that a picture of Omega on your phone? And she's like, yeah. And then he realizes that she's just like a crazy stalker. And if he would have told her, like, that would have been it.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like, oh no, I don't need fangirls chasing me.
Yeah. But like, I thought that was like such a funny twist. But I was like, could you imagine if he told her before they told? I would have been like,
yeah.
I would have been like, come on, man. She's a part of the trio, and she doesn't even know.
Yeah.
And you're gonna tell a random person you just met?
Tell her friend before you tell her.
I was totally on Kosei. I was like, dude, that's not right. But that brings us to episodes 11 and 12, which is really kind of like the first, like, I don't know if I want to say like main story.
Yeah, this is like some big development here.
Like overarching story lore that's going to contribute to future episodes.
Yeah, so
the one thing that was touched on in this episode and in previous episodes is Kosei's insecurity. Well, that was with the 10th one as well, because he was like, well, why is she so obsessed with Omega all the time and stuff? Yeah. And that kind of transitions over to this one as well, where they see a news broadcast and they're kind of like doubting how helpful Omega and the Medio Kaiju are. And Kosei takes it very personal.
Yeah.
So he's all like gung-ho and has all these issues. And Sorato went out without him once already. So he feels like he's being abandoned. He's got abandonment issues. So when they go to investigate a new Graim that's come out, which I thought was pretty funny, they're like, there's more than one Graim. And then Sorato's like, there's more than one person.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like,
you're like, oh, that actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So this Graim's like just kind of like on a path, like, oh, this is so weird that this thing's up. So, and now this whole episode, there's a new defense force that's forming. Looks very reminiscent.
I think it's the NDF.
Yeah.
I think is the.
I forgot what it was.
I think it's NDF. I think it's like National Defense Force.
Yeah, but it looks very similar to the Blazar uniforms. Not 100%, but like it almost looked like Timu Gento there for a moment.
It really did. Like the colors and even the actor that they got was like pretty.
Yeah.
Same build as Gento. Yeah.
No, it was like the same. It was basically the same uniform, but just like a different like the gear, helmet, everything was like almost exact.
It just didn't have the scarred logo on it.
It didn't have the scarred logo, and it was a different color, blue.
Like a different shade.
Yeah. But like you're like oh my god, this is like it looked. I mean, I guess you could say the defense force could be kind of standard looking, like but like it looked like a scarred uniform like so much.
Yeah, it was definitely like let's recycle and like the same idea type of thing. I think he's going to be a reoccurring character now, and I think this like defense force might show up more in the series. If it didn't, I would say like. Could we have gotten just a Gento cameo, but like this is a different universe Gento that's just Gento with no Ultra. Yeah. But I think he's going to be a reoccurring character to an extent, so it makes sense. And I don't think they've ever done a cameo like that before either.
I mean, they have.
So
they have had actors from previous Ultra series show up as not their character, but
yeah, but like have him be Gento, but who never got an Ultra.
Yeah. No.
That would be like
That would be cool.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would ever do that, because I don't know if that would upset fans if they did that.
Yeah. Then they'd be like, we can never get a crossover like this now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, so this Graim is just on a march. Like, all right, we got plans to fight this thing. We're ready. And then this other kaiju appears.
Well, first, Kosei jumps into Trigaron.
Oh, yeah.
And Trigaron is basically Worf. He's there to make other things look strong.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. Kosei, hastily, just runs into the battle, and Sorato's like, no, I don't think you should. And, yeah, she runs in there. Trigaron gets defeated. Now Sorato's forced to turn into Omega, and he does, but the Graim gets attacked by a new kaiju, Eldeghimera, and it absorbs the Graim, and it legit sells it. Its tail just goes over it, absorbs
it reminded me of Ogre a lot.
Yes, that too, yeah. And then now it forms Graim's horn on its shoulder, and now it's got Graim's abilities, and Sorato gets defeated. And that's the big cliffhanger, and Kosei's like, oh man, I screwed up.
Yeah, it was a crazy ending too, because Sorato's protecting the defense force from all these laser shots from the Graim horn now. And so he's just tanking these hits. And then finally he goes to I guess do a jumping blow on him, and he ends up just getting a straight shot to the chest, and disintegrates. And he just untransformed, but goes back to his Sorato form. So then Kosei finds him and brings him back, and of course, because Trigaron was defeated and Kosei ran up his kaiju timer, he couldn't help with Reckoness at all.
Yeah.
So it was really Kosei really feeling man, I really messed this up.
Yeah.
I am the reason that this happened to Sorato. Sorato's on death's door, kind of crazy. So that transitions straight into episode 12. Kind of basically leaves off kind of where we left off. Sorato's now back in the warehouse though, but he's he's sick again.
Yeah, he's hurt.
He's all beat up.
He's kind of delusional, hungry.
Yeah. So
yeah,
Kosei. You go.
Yeah. So like we said, Kosei's trying to take care of him, and he's just feeling all bad about himself. And IU's there with the defense force. They're trying to figure out a plan how to stop this Eldeghimera. And it's now absorbed a Dugrid, which was the kaiju from, I believe, the second episode, the dam episode.
Yeah, so it's got this toxic...
Yeah, so now it's got these toxic gases that it could spew out on top of the Graim horn.
Yeah, and Sorato spoke with Kosei and was basically I think I'm moving out and I think we're done. Not in a I'm offended type of way, but kind of in a I brought you in. He said I brought you into something that you don't even want to. I brought you into something you're not even right. I'm forcing you to do this, and that's not right for you. So I'm gonna leave and remove myself from this. And obviously Kosei's super hurt, so he's in his feelings, and he's helping Anyu. And runs into another researcher.
Yeah.
And she basically is oh well, you can help me with my research. And Kosei needs positive reinforcement and guidance. The warehouse owner offers that when he can, but he really needs to find himself. And he's basically spent the whole day doing research with her, and he found this sample, and he's talking to her about everything, and he's at first it's his boastful I came in third place in my region in the race type of thing, trying to sell it off it's a good thing, but eventually he breaks down and he's I got nothing going for me. I don't have anything that I want to do in life, and I had this one thing going for me and I messed up, and now that's I'm probably never going to do that again. And she's well, just because you messed up, like, that's a lesson. That's not a reason to give up. Like, if you gave up whenever you made a mistake, you'd never amount to anything, which is kind of what he's done his whole life. Yeah. So he realizes, like, this is what I want to do, and I want to help people, and I don't want to do it for clout. I want to do it because I want to help people.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't need the recognition anymore. I don't need people's approval. So, yeah, do you want to take it here?
So basically, final battle begins. Sorato's battling Eldeghimera, and Ayu's there, like, all right, the defense force is about to do their operation. They figured out that if Eldeghimera absorbs too much energy, that it will eventually lose all that energy. Like, if it like overloads and just has to extrude that from its body, so it'll lose its powers and get weaker. So they have this plan to launch these spears into it and overcharge it to weaken it so that they can defeat it. So they're trying to carry out that operation. One of the spears misses. That's when Sorato steps in. And then she sees Kosei through her binoculars running. And then she's like, what the hell is he doing out there? So she goes to find him, and she sees him summon Rekiness. And Rekiness picks up the spears that fall out of Eldeghimera, puts it in there. Sorato, as Ultraman, really shoves those into the stomach. And now Eldeghimera is overloaded, loses the Graim and do-grid powers. And now Omega merges with Rekiness and is able to defeat this Eldeghimera no problem. And it kind of cuts, and Kosei's like,
well,
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So Ayu's like kind of like confronts Kosei after this all happens. He's like, I'll tell you everything, I promise. And then he kind of like runs off.
Yeah, he's like, I have something to do, but I'll tell you everything.
Yeah. And then he, you can take it from that now.
Yeah, so, they're back at the warehouse, and he has the conversation with Sorato, and basically says, like, this is what I want to do with my life. Like, I found it. This is it. And, we're partners in this, and, I'm here to support you and to help. And it's not about getting recognition or anything like that. It's about helping people. And, Sorato goes back to the first episode. I know that you are kind.
Yeah.
Like, and that you're a good person, and like, basically says like, we're gonna do this together now.
Yeah.
Now that you're ready, and they have like a really like touching moment with each other, and like, really hate to like rag on like other series, but like this is how you like build a relationship between people, and it's normal between characters, and the characters aren't robots that like have very strange social interactions until they're supposed to be friends by like episode 16, and that's when you start getting them together again. Like it just seems so organic the way that this is written and the way the characters are intertwined. And I think that it's just really great that this series just has a smaller cast, and that smaller cast needs to carry the stories.
Yeah,
because it allows them to have conversations like this. And we finish up the episode, and they're back on the right track, and going into episode 13, Ayu's going to come to the warehouse, and they're going to explain everything to her. We're going to get Pigman back.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a nice little classic kaiju right there. And, I think the series is just really on a great trajectory. We saw some, we had someone send us some spoilers and some, like, review, like, like previews and stuff like that. I don't know how public the info is in America, or if like how readily available it is, because I haven't seen it anywhere else or anyone else talking about it, but it just really looks like this series is just on a great trajectory. And story wise, I'm just really excited to see where it goes. I can't wait for the new Medio Kaiju and see what that brings, like what type of powers it has, because we have the speed with Trigaron, we have the telekinesis with Rekiness, and with this new Kaiju, I don't know if it's just like a power up. It seems like it might be like a straight power boost, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe if Ultraman didn't already fly, I would be like flying.
Yeah, because it looks bird-like, and he does get like a staff from this new one. One thing that I forgot that we did not mention about episode 11 is while he's fighting this kaiju in episode 11, the Eldeghimera, Omega, Sorato, has a flashback to when he got blasted back down to Earth from that opening in episode 1. And he's starting to get his memory back, too, is the other thing. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to have, like, a full memory Sorato in a couple episodes.
I would say, because it's usually like, what, 25 episode season?
Yeah.
I honestly, I think it's probably going to be around 20. And then maybe the last 5 bring it home. Like, but I definitely think, especially since what we've seen, that the next, going from here to 20, I think there's going to be a lot of pieces starting to get put together.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be like
it's 25 episodes.
Moment where he gets a giant flash and he has everything. I think that is going to happen, but there's going to be pieces that lead to it.
Yeah, I mean, next episode's episode 13, so that's officially past the halfway mark since it's 25 episodes. That'll officially put it past the halfway mark there. So yeah, this is going to be big. IU's going to know. We got Pigmon showing up to break the ice for the tension. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm a big Garamon fan, so Pigmon is just mini Garamon at the end of the day. So really looking forward to seeing what that episode brings, what other kaiju, if there's going to be any other kaiju. We'll see.
Yeah, no, super excited for where the series is going. Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? I guess my main question is it going to be a in the middle of the series movie, or is it going to be a epilogue movie? I hope it's an epilogue.
Yeah, I want it to be a nice little epilogue. Definitely a little epilogue. Yeah, I don't want to be hearing about the Zaisu War that we're not ever going to see.
Ever. And then they tease it again at the end of the movie like we're going to get a second movie. But tell us what you guys think down below. Like, how's Omega been for you? Do you like it? Is it too slow? I don't think it is. But how do you want the movie to be? Do you want it to be an in the middle of the series or a epilogue movie? But let us know down below, and we'll see you guys next time. I think that about wraps up the show.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching.